My name is David Reeves. I'm a freelance audio engineer here in Seattle, working from my home studio. I edit podcasts, music, audiobooks, pretty much whatever comes my way. Last October, I got an email from a guy named Michael Chun. He had a Rush Jaban old cassette tape that needed audio cleaned up. He offered to pay double my usual rate if I could get it done within 24 hours. Seems simple enough. That evening, a padded envelope showed up on my doorstep. No note, just the tape inside. It was one of those old Maxell 90-minute cassettes from the 80s. The label was faded and completely blank. Primera hooked it up, transferred it to digital, and put on my headphones to get to work. The recording quality was awful. A ton of hiss and static, like it was recorded in a big, echoey room. At first, all I could make out was background noise and maybe some breathing. Then, a voice spoke. It was a child. A little girl, maybe 6 or 7 years old. She said, "Is anyone there? I can't find my mommy." I felt a chill go down my spine. Something about her voice was off. It was flat, totally emotionless, like she was reading from a script. After more static, another voice came in, an older man, speaking very quietly. "How long have you been here?" The girl replied, "I don't know. A long time. I can't remember when I came." "Can you help me find my mommy?" The man's voice cracked as he said, "I can't help you. I'm sorry." "Why not?" she asked. He replied, "Because I've been here longer than you have, and no one's coming for either of us." I paused the recording. My first thought was this had to be some kind of weird art project or a short horror story, but the client just wanted the audio cleaned, not analyzed. So I got back to it, filtering out the noise, trying to make the voices clearer. As I worked, more voices started to appear on the tape. A woman, counting backwards from 100, over and over again. A teenage boy reciting something that sounded like a prayer in Latin. An elderly man just humming a strange tune I didn't recognize. They all spoke at different times, never overlapping, almost like they were taking turns. Then, about 40 minutes in, I heard something that made me rip my headphones off. It was my own voice. "Hello! Is this thing recording? I can't see anything. Where am I?" It was unmistakably me. My voice, my speech patterns, even the slight lisp I've had since I was a kid. But I have absolutely no memory of recording those words. I'd never been in whatever room that was. I just sat there, staring at the audio waveform on my computer screen. My voice on the tape kept talking. "How long have I been here? Days? Weeks? There's no windows, no clocks. Just this room and these voices. They won't stop talking. I can hear them in the walls." This had to be a trick. Someone must have sampled my voice from another project and edited it into this recording. It was the only logical explanation. But I only started working as an audio engineer 3 years ago. This cassette was from the 80s, decades before I was even born. I forced myself to keep listening. My voice on the tape sounded more and more desperate. If anyone finds this tape, please send help. We're trapped in a building somewhere in Seattle. I don't know the address. They took my phone, my wallet, everything. I don't even remember how I got here. I was walking home from the store and then nothing. Just woke up in this room. The recording suddenly cut to static. Then the little girl's voice returned. "We have a new friend. His name is David. He's scared like we were when we first came." My hands were shaking. I ejected the cassette from the player and threw it across the room. I tried calling the number Michael Chun had used in his email. Disconnected. I searched his name online, but found nothing. When I tried to reply to the email, it just bounced back. I should have destroyed the tape right then and there, but I couldn't. I had to know what was on the rest of it. I picked it up and fast-forwarded toward the end. The last 10 minutes were mostly static, but buried deep in the noise, I heard something. Footsteps. A door creaking open. And then screaming. Multiple voices screaming all at once. The little girl, the old man, the teenage boy, and my voice, screaming louder than any of them. The screaming stopped abruptly. Then there was just silence. Pure, dead silence. for the last few minutes of the tape. But in that silence, I heard something very faint. Breathing. Someone was still in that room, breathing right into the microphone. And then, right at the very end, a new voice spoke. It was a woman. Her voice calm and professional. Subject 18 has been processed. All voice samples archived. Beginning memory extraction protocol. Subject will be returned to point of origin with no recollection of experience. Stand by for next acquisition. And then the tape ended. I sat in my studio until the sun came up, trying to convince myself it was all just an incredibly elaborate hoax. Someone had faked my voice, created this entire terrifying story just to mess with me. There was no other explanation. But then I noticed something on my left arm. Right in the crook of my elbow, there was a small mark, like a needle puncture. It looked fresh, maybe a day or two old. I have no memory of getting any kind of shot. No doctor's appointments, no blood tests, nothing. I checked my calendar. Yesterday was Thursday, October 12th, but I can't remember a single thing about that day. The entire 24 hours are just gone. Vanished from my memory. I found the padded envelope, the tape came in, and looked at the postmark. The return address was my own. I had mailed the tape to myself. There's a gap in my computer logs, too. They show I was working on something from 9 p.m. Tuesday until 3 a.m. Wednesday morning, but the project files from that time slot are missing. 5 hours of work, with nothing to show for it. I've started sleeping with my phone recording audio all night. This morning, I listened back to last night's recording. At 2:47 a.m., I can hear myself getting out of bed and walking downstairs. I hear the front door open. Then, there's silence for about 3 hours. At 5:51 a.m., the door opens again. Footsteps come back upstairs, and I hear myself get back into bed. I have no memory of leaving my house. I'm writing all of this down because I'm terrified I'm going to forget again. I've hidden copies of the tape and this story in several different places. If I wake up tomorrow and don't remember doing any of this, at least there will be some proof. The puncture mark on my arm is already gone. It healed completely in just 2 days. That's not normal. I keep hearing that woman's voice from the end of the tape in my head. Subject will be returned to point of origin with no recollection of experience. What did they do to me during those missing hours? What are they still doing to me? And who are they? Last night, I got another email. A different name this time. Jennifer Walls. Another rush job. Another cassette that needs cleaning. She offered triple my rate. I haven't responded yet. I don't know what I should do. But a part of me needs to know what's on that tape. A part of me already thinks I know what I'll find. My own voice, recorded decades before I was born, talking about a room with no windows and voices in the walls. If you're watching this, and I've gone missing, look for the tapes. There are more of them. I don't know how many, but I think everyone they've taken has left a recording behind. We're trying to warn you. We're trying to remember, but they always make us forget. Thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe, because I don't know what's going to happen next.